So hello guys, welcome to my channel Study Pick. So today's topic is thinking and problem solving of psychology. So content, we will study about concept of thinking, elements of thoughts, types of thinking like convergent thinking, divergent thinking, autistic thinking, creative thinking. Also we will study about stages of creative thinking, concept of reasoning, problem solving, stages of problem solving and steps, methods of problem solving, factors affecting the problem solving, decision making, and common biasness and errors in decision making. So talking about thinking, it refers to the pattern of behavior in which we make internal representation of the things and events for a specific problem. Internal presentation helps in problem solving, and behavior provides evidence for the existence. Its characteristics are: it is cognitive in nature, symbolic, problem solving, and mental exploration. Now we have elements of thoughts, so images, concepts, and symbol. So images are the mind pictures, consist of personal experience. Mind picture symbolizes the actual object, experience, and activities. In thinking, we manipulate images instead of the actual object, experience, and activities. Next we have concept. It is a symbol that summarizes and generalizes the attributes of typical several objects and events, action, ideas. Next we have symbol and sign. It acts as a stimulus that become commonly accepted presentation of object, events, action, and idea. It takes form and meaning as there is general agreement that stands for another particular thing. Multiplication, addition, subtraction are symbolic in nature. So types of thinking. So there is two types, convergent and divergent. So convergent thinking, it is logical, factual, conventional, focused on problem solving. It is concerned with a particular end result. There is mutual agreement accepted by all. Talking about divergent thinking, it is ability to generate the range of possible solution. It is associated with creative acts. There is fluency as ability to produce large number of ideas and solution. There is flexibility as capacity to consider the variety of approach to a problem. There is originality, concerned with producing the ideas from different from others, and elaboration, that is thinking through detail of ideas carrying out. Next we have autistic thinking and creative thinking. Talking about autistic thinking, it is characterized by extreme preoccupation with one's thought. Person characterized by autism, there is fantasy, dream, and wish thinking. Creative thinking is ability to integrate the element in harmonious to create new thinking. So cognitive directs towards the creative work. It is the ability to produce the product which is novel, that is new and socially valued. Now we have stages of creative thinking, that is preparation, incubation, inspiration or illumination, evaluation, and finally verification. So talking about preparation, the education prepares for the creative work. Training through education, that is doctor, engineers, and scientists. It prepares models and proceeds to something new direction. Before designing anything, creator makes preparation with learning, knowledge, and education. Next we have incubation. So absence of overt activities over here, no thinking of the problem consciously. Unconscious process plays an important role in this. It's a period of no success where thinkers are unaware and problem solve while sleeping. Now we have inspiration and illumination. It is the aha experience. If the thinker is lucky, he gets the idea into consciousness. The new idea comes in dream at some subconscious mind. It provides direction towards the goal. Next we have evaluation. The thinker finds out if the solution into the hands of minds are correct or not. If not, the thinker goes to the first stage. Now finally we have verification. If the solution is correct, then it is accepted. If the solution is wrong, thinker begins from the first. It is necessary to evaluate the process of creative thinking. Now we have factors producing creativity. So there are factors like intellectual ability, personality attribute, environment as supportive ideas, knowledge, certain style of thinking, and focus on motivation, that is intrinsic task. Now we have reasoning. So the higher order of mental process where we transform available information to draw a conclusion. It involves transferring the available information to reach a specific conclusion. The logical thinking employs the valid reason to reach correct conclusion as a foundation of rational thoughts to fit the real world. There are two types of reasoning involved, that is inductive reasoning and deductive reasoning. Inductive reasoning means making observation, gathering information until a general conclusion is reached. Deductive reasoning is a conclusion follows premise where if then allows for the prediction. For example, if Rama is female, all the women are mortal. Next we have problem solving. It is defined as cognitive process through which information is used to reach a goal. It is a process of problem solving requires a new response combination of and combination of old response. Reason often provides the answer. So the stages of problem solving are preparation, production, and judgment, that is examining and evaluating. Talking about preparation and formulating problems, it is defined as cognitive process through which information is used to reach a goal. It is the process of problem solving that requires new responses and combination of old responses. Reason often provides the answer. Production, it is for simple problem solution is stored in the long-term memory to retrieve the information. We compare the information in our long and short-term memory. There is initial trial and error method where we solve complicated problems at the possibilities, but 10 to the power 40 consequences of the checker are available. Next we have heuristics, is a cognitive shortcut to lead a way to a solution, which means in analysis where people test a difference between the desired output and actual performance. It divides the problem into the steps and sub goals to solve the problem. We have now judgment and examining evaluating. The final step is where judging adequacy of the solution. If the solution is less concrete, then evaluation becomes difficult. Heuristic is appropriate and while to make accurate choices among the problem solving. Now we have methods of problem solving, there is trial and error, algorithm, and heuristics. So talking about trial and error, if one makes attempts and there is an error, then correct proceeding is made. It is simply trying out all the possible solution. Although it is common, it is time consuming and does not guarantee a solution. Now next we have algorithm. So it is a set of rules which is followed and guaranteed solution to a problem. It involves specification and trying out all the possible solution. Unambiguous procedure for certain tasks and problem. It is a set of well-defined rules to a problem. Next we have heuristics. So it is cognitive shortcut that leads to a solution. It is method that have been successful in the past and serves as a guide. The problem solver uses this approach to yield solution rather than possibilities. It is important category includes representativeness and availability. Next we have factors affecting problem solving. So there is mental set and functional fixedness. So talking about mental set, it refers to the habitual way of approaching to a problem, relatively fixed directional aspect. There is tendency to stick with a familiar method of problem solving. Next we have functional fixedness, where it involves thinking about something in terms of functionality rather than new way to which it is tested. The tendency to perceive function as a fixed or unchanging. The force to use solving techniques that has been used before. Now we have decision making. It is a kind of problem solving in which we present several alternatives and choose the best among the others. It limits of short-term effect in decision making. Now we have individual decision making and rational decision making. Talking about individual decision making, the individual makes the decision. The top manager determines the goals, what to offer and how to perform the activity best. An individual makes decision, quality of choices influenced by his own perception. Next we have rational decision making. So there are 6 steps to be followed. Defining the problem, identifying the decision criteria, allocate the weight out to the criteria, developing alternatives, and evaluating the alternatives and selection of best alternatives. Now we have next common biasness and errors in decision making. So there is overconfidence, anchoring bias, availability bias, confirmation bias, representative bias, escalating of commitments, and hindsight bias. So talking about overconfidence, it is the subjective confidence where the judgment reliability greater than the objective accuracy, ability to think rationally and decision maker looks alternatives. Next is anchoring bias. It is the tendency to reach a decision by making adjustment to reference point. Person looking for old bike may check kilometer or engine on his own basis. Next we have ability bias. So it is the probability of events judged on the basis of how fast solution come into the mind. Events we remember is likely to have occurred, which is more frequently in the past and likely to occur in future. People are afraid of plane crash, but in actual there are more car accidents than the plane crashes. Next we have confirmation bias. So it is the tendency to test the conclusion and hypothesis by examining the evidence that confirms our initial view. For example, people notice phone calls from person they think. Next we have representative bias. It assumes that more closely items are more likely. For example, white coat, then we assume that a person must be a doctor. Next we have escalating of commitments. So a person who makes a bad decision tends to stick with it even if there is a loss. So it is a tendency to be trapped in a bad decision. Initial decisions are on rational factors. External pressure affects the bad decision. Now we have hindsight bias. So it assumes that we predict actual events more successfully than the actual case is. People remember the prediction of the future events as being stronger than actually they are. Sometimes they turn out to be correct. So that's the end of the chapter thinking. So make sure you like, comment and subscribe. Also you can check out the PDF file of this thinking at my WordPress website, which will be given in the link in the description. Thank you.